I cannot begin to express to you guys how much I love planning and how much I suck at actually doing things. Basically, I'm a natural planner. It's my comfort zone. I'm really good at visions and crafting plans, building aesthetics and outlines. But the danger of being a visionary is that staying zoomed out feels productive. When I'm planning, it feels like I'm making progress. My brain runs on beautiful, sweeping, cinematic, long term thinking. It's one of my superpowers, I guess, but every superpower has a shadow. And for me, that shadow is that I can design an entire world, but then feel paralyzed when it's time to take the first tiny step inside it. But here's the thing I know I'm not struggling because I'm unmotivated. I'm struggling because I'm so good at the big picture thinking that my brain forgets how to be small. Small feels like being clumsy. Um, it feels like it doesn't count. But small is where the universe actually moves. Oftentimes, I've already built a whole cathedral in my head, but my brain doesn't want to pick up the first brick. But we don't build cathedrals by imagining them, I guess. We build them by touching the stone. My brain wants to soar, but sometimes I have to land. In an attempt to add flavor to my average and basically mediocre life, I wanted to go through a self improvement practice and see what kind of intention that I could set for 2026. In true sort of Bogwitch fashion, I decided to participate in the 13 Magical Nights intentions practice, where I wrote down 13 different intentions. And starting on the winter solstice, I burned one every single night until there was only one remaining. This is supposed to be the intention that I'll center in my life for this year. It also included 13 days of journaling to basically see what I'm appreciative of for last year, what I want to keep the same, how I want to approach the winter season that's happening right now, and then the things that I want to center in my life for 2026. During the journaling practice, what surprised me the most was how many times that my phone came up, and not just my phone, but how much I hate myself for using my phone as much as I do. So, the intention that I was hoping to get as the 13th was something that would maybe have me more centered in nature or something like that, but that's not what I got. But I wanted to share a couple of the journal entries with you that I felt like had a little bit of introspection as far as the person that I want to become. On night 5, the question was, where do I need softness? And I said, a place in my life where I need less discipline and more compassion is hard for me to pinpoint. I feel like I've given myself so much grace this year, which I definitely needed. But now I fear I'm forgiving myself too much. So this winter, I want to focus less on giving myself less discipline and work toward finding a good balance between militant productivity and complete hedonism. From another angle on soft, though, I think I'd like to focus on doing more analog tasks and fewer digital ones. Play cozy games on my Switch instead of my phone, watch DVDs instead of scrolling, listen to a podcast or an audiobook while I paint or do needlepoint instead of watching YouTube repeats and playing Tetris on my phone. I want to go back to a night routine of yoga, meditation, and reading. That is the kind of softness I'm seeking. Reflecting on the journaling practice that I did, I think the key things to consider for me were, again, how many times my phone came up and how much of my life I feel like I'm wasting. And then the other thing was really a deep desire to reconnect with nature and spend more time outside. And I think those things really go hand in hand. In the most anticlimactic drum roll ever, the 13th intention I got, the 13th journal entry, the kept intention, ended up being begin before you're ready. This intention was the one I was most anxious about getting, and lo and behold, here it is. I was excited to do some planning, but the whole point of this intention is not planning, which is completely out of my wheelhouse. Maybe that means that this was, in fact, the intention I needed the most. I'm not even sure how to center this intention or take steps to achieve it. I did start the YouTube channel this past year and also started investing, both before I thought I was ready. Both of those things ended up feeling pretty good, even if I don't know where they will take me in the end, if anywhere. And that's why this begin before you're ready intention is really actually giving me quite a lot of anxiety. I feel like if I start something and I don't already know how to be perfect at it, that maybe I'm going to fail, or I don't know. It's completely irrational. I know it is, but it's a hard thing to get over. But I do want to commit to trying to center this intention. Again, I'm not really sure how. I'm thinking maybe in my journaling practice, once a week, write down something that I feel like I've been avoiding, um, because I feel like I'm not ready or I'm scared to start. And then maybe jot down some things that I can do, something small to start working toward that goal. Maybe I can commit to one thing per quarter, so like 4 things for 2026 that I could start before I'm ready. I don't know yet. I guess we'll see as we go along. I did leave a blank space on my intentions table for the year for this 13th intention. I needed to find a way to signify that so that when I look over here every day, I can remember what I'm doing. So I decided to keep the T10 that I was keeping the intentions in. I put a little sticker over the label that says, my steeping intentions. I put a key inside. The key is symbolic of, well, it doesn't open anything by itself. I have to do something to open the door. The key doesn't explain the door in advance. It opens something, but only when I use it. I'm the one that holds the power to turn the key. The key, or the idea by itself, doesn't really do much. So the gist of it seems to be that I just need to do something. I sat with this intention for a couple of days, and then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do something right now to work out this phone problem. So I grabbed my phone, I deleted all the apps off of it, basically. All the streaming apps except YouTube, all my social media apps, and definitely all the games, because that's where most of my time was going. I'm not gonna lie, I spent over 50 hours on my phone last week, apparently. I am on vacation from work, but I could have used those 50 hours for something a lot more fun and a lot more productive than playing dumb games and watching TikTok. I'm not really happy with myself about it, because now I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I feel like I've gotten very little done. And actually, I feel like despite the fact that I was saying that I was on my phone and laying on the couch to rest, I don't really feel that rested. That's obviously not good. So I also downloaded one of those app minimizer launcher, whatever it's called. I just got the dumb phone one. It looked pretty good. This is what my screen looks like now, and I was not ready to do this. I did not have a plan. I just got sick of it and fed up, and so I did it. So I'll check back in with you guys in like a month to let you know how my more analog dumb phone journey is going. But this is day 2 of it, and honestly, I'm already feeling a bit better. If you want to see how that journey goes, go ahead and subscribe. That would be awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.